Disclaimer, per use, education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clip belong to their prospective owner, and we do not claim ownership. Man, let's get back to it. And I had to shut that junk down. Right quick. All right. Let's get back to the T when they get back to the case, right? Look, when they come back to the folks' case, right? Look, y'all heard it came from the lady own mouth. Right here. I got to show this all over again.
This is day one of my mom doing chair yoga workouts. This is day.
With us now is former.
So look, before I show this video, I got to school everybody what's going on. Everything gonna be allegedly, but it's the truth. But I got to say allegedly, you know what I'm talking about? These people is a part of a system that we all know. You got the Selena Gomez. This the same lady that interviewed Selena Gomez about another sacrifice, kidney, and harvesting to celebrities, and everybody be drinking that adrenochrome juice. Same thing. She tried to cover up Selena Gomez so nobody won't be hip to man, these people really do this. We actually living in the world that all the elites, this is what they are part of. And check this out. Make it so bad, the lady was never kidnapped. Right? Since they're gonna put that out there, that's what's gonna stick with a lot of people because, hey, she missing. Right? This crazy, right? So everybody man gonna say this lady been abducted. This lady was never abducted. She wasn't even taken against her will. Something was going on in this house. And somebody cleaned the whole crime scene up. It's all a sacrifice. So this video finna prove everything what I said. Cause round about this, she said what?
Nancy Guthrie. But a related question that is pressing on many minds is who possibly could be.
Hold on. Matter of fact, start from the beginning. Let's go from the beginning. That's why we need to do it. Start from the beginning. She said this whole interview, it looked like she dry snitching. It's like this lady said it's somebody that's close in her circle. You got 2 daughters. Well, you got really 3 daughters. The other daughter was last seen, her son-in-law was last seen with her mother. And if you look into the sister, know what books that she like to write and stuff. All right. Hi y'all, let's get those likes up, gang. Let's get those likes up. So what I'm getting out of this, I see why Fox News putting her ass in their hot seat. Cause the way this lady basically told you it was a hire for murder, and it was somebody in a circle, and the person that's doing the grieving is the person that's paying for all of this. And you can put them on the news. Like, yeah, boom, put them on the news, and there'll be a reminder of her, yeah, you in check.
With us now is former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. Nicole, thanks for sticking with us this extra hour of the Big Weekend Show with this breaking news. Earlier you mentioned,
She could have been in the Epstein files. Look at it like that.
Just some ideas of what the perpetrators here may be doing, perhaps trying to get more time. What I want to ask you, since you're an FBI special agent, is what is it that the FBI brings to the table in this investigation that local law enforcement, state law enforcement, general police efforts and investigators can't do? And is any of that in motion right now?
That's a great question. We love working with our local law enforcement agencies, both local and state. They're phenomenal and they bring a lot to the table. But again, the FBI, they do have very unique resources.
And then look, while she dry snitching on her, she telling everybody what she do. She did the same thing for Murder Heidi because she said that's what we do. This is so crazy that these people could talk in codes that we don't know. But if you listen closely, you'll be like, oh, okay.
And I, again, greatly appreciate that President Trump has said, look, take whatever you need. Every single resource that you need, we will give it to you. And that is powerful because the FBI does have very special techniques, investigative tools, and other things of that sort. So let's start with our CAST, for instance, our cellular analysis support.
Did she say let's start out with the CAST?
Tools and other things of that sort. So let's start with our CAST, for instance.
All right. Indeed. What that means? So that means they finna be acting now, right? All this finna be an acting role now.
Our cellular analysis.
Oh, no. Again. Let's start it off with our CAST and watch how the world is a stage. Bro.
Yeah, they do have very unique resources. And I, again, greatly appreciate that President Trump has said, look, take whatever you need. Every single resource that you need, we will give it to you. And that is powerful because the FBI does have very special techniques, investigative tools, and other things of that sort. So let's start with our CAST, for instance, our cellular analysis support team. They will literally go in and they can tell where a cell phone has been pinging. They can go and look in a certain area and they can tell basically every single person that used a cell phone in that area, and they can then triangulate that, they can track that, and then they can determine where was this person at this exact hour. And so if someone's saying, oh, I wasn't there, well, if you had a cell phone, look, the pings don't lie. They do not lie. And it is a very...
The payments don't lie? Whoa! That just let you know it was some payments being made that we don't even know about yet. And somebody don't want to be at a crime scene. Look.
If they can then triangulate that, they can track that, and then they can determine where was this person at this exact hour. And so if someone's saying, oh, I wasn't there, well, if you had a cell phone, look, the pings don't lie. They do not lie. And it is a very complex and sophisticated technology. They do an amazing job of it. We have our critical.
So that means they just say, well, she just basically off the top of just said the payment don't lie, meaning they got proof of payment and know what happened. So they finna read. That's why she said we finna start off as a cast. We already know, Savannah. So let's cut these cameras on and look and read from our scripts now.
Critical incident response group. That includes all of our hostage rescue team, our SWAT, our behavioral analysis unit. Let me hone in on behavioral analysis unit for a minute. That is one of the divisions that is so crucial in this investigation because of these emails that are coming out. They do a full statement analysis. They will review everything. They will say, okay, they'll sit with the family and they will say, look, this is what we believe that they're saying. these are profilers that have been working these types of investigations. I mean, we're talking hundreds of investigations that have been worked. I work very closely with many of these profilers, and this is how you solve cases. You look at behaviors, you look at
She worked real closely with profilers.
patterns. And so a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you are based on things that I personally experienced by
Her personal experience.
looking at different behavioral patterns in the past. Of course, this case is always unique, but when you look at what you've done in the past and how there are a lot of similarities, BAU is outstanding. The other thing that they bring to the table are evidence response teams. They're phenomenal. They go in and they reconstruct crime scenes. I believe that they are definitely reconstructing the crime scene, trying to determine what occurred in this instance. And then they're taking all of the technological artifacts and they're piecing them together and they're narrowing in the timeline. So we've talked about, for instance, the Ring doorbell camera or the doorbell camera that stopped working. They're going to take that specific artifact and then they're going to piece it together with, the pacemaker app stopped working. Then they're going to actually piece it together. And one thing that I think the FBI is definitely doing is think about it. This woman had a pacemaker. Our heart rate is extremely important. It's indicative of a state of stress that you might be in. So
Now check this out. The lady telling y'all about the phone situation. Man, somebody knew to go in the phone and disable especially the pacemaker. Cause you know what? Cut that off. A killer that know that she got a pacemaker on the phone, know how the app works. Cut that off. Cause that's finna be a time of death over a ritual, sound like to me. Ain't no person just finna really just go through a person's phone unless they trying to delete information that tied them back to them. You know what I'm talking about? Cause the meaning that if she got an app on her phone, guess who else will be notified in case anything happen? Like if she trip and fall or anything. You don't think Savannah and her other daughters got those apps to keep an eye on their mother and cameras on the inside? You see what I'm saying? And then the alert gonna automatic bring the ambulance over there if you have any kind of heart failure. That's what a life alert is, right? So somebody knew to cut that goddamn app off before anything happened. So somebody was focusing on the phone before. Look, first a person gonna kill you, then go in your phone, and then realize, damn, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? That junk could have had a passcode on it. Notice they didn't say nothing about she had a passcode on her phone, your unlock button and stuff. So y'all got to think. Like in my live that I said, man, you know this shit sound like car wash on the phone with the kidnappers. Hello, hello, Savannah. Hey, how you doing? Who is this? Hey, this is the kidnappers. And we got your mom over here and we demand $6 million in Bitcoins. Ah, shit. I ain't got 6 million, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me go talk to Jerry. Hey Jerry, they said they man. Hold on, man. You just call my real Jerry, man. You know what I'm talking about. Hold on, man. Hold on. Give me a minute. And then look, she finna tell y'all how she get down and telling her how she got down. So when she tell you the story how she got down, she gonna say, yeah, I'm in the field. She using her degrees what she went to school for. That's just like a murderer telling me about a murder scene and you is the murderer. But you just went to school to be a murderer. You didn't went to school to solve crime. You went to school to commit crime. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that just sounds like if you want to be a burglar and want to be good at it, you might want to go to goddamn it, be a locksmith or something. Pick a lock. You know what I'm talking about? Man, if you a car thief, become a mechanic. Go to school, be a mechanic. Shit, if you want to be a hoe, you ain't got to walk on the street. Shit, just go to school. Shit, go to college and goddamn it, get into one of those sorority and hold your way to the 3rd degree Freemasonry. Something else. There you go. Pick your passion, goddamn. Hi, y'all. Man, let's get those lights up, gang. We back. We back. So now look. Let's play the video. Cause we all know what she gonna say right up in her. Yeah, cause that's what we do. We hire people. We don't get our hands dirty. We let and then you know what? You'll know what they do? If the hitman would get caught, right? Just say whoever they would, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. They would actually lock the person up. If he get caught, this is like if I was a part of this shit. And they like, hey Trey gang, I need you to go in there and boom, boom, and clean all of this up. All right, I'm going in. But if you get caught, trail leads back to you. We got to charge you though. All right, I got you. Boom, boom, boom. I go in, boom, 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 clean it up. Next thing you know, everybody in conspiracy mode. Don't know what's going on. Whole time it was a cover up, right? I look, check this out. I come out there, John, boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, just say I got caught like I just say I jumped in the car, boom, and turned the corner. Somebody's just say somebody was on that street and want to come forward like, damn, seen a cutlass. Cutlass? Yeah. On some 30s. On some 30 Israel? Yup. Boom, going down there. I'm black dude. And this thing you know, I'm caught. But once that word get out, boom. This guess what I got to do? Then now the trail get on me. Guess what the police finna do? Get on their job, the Illuminati. Now they finna lock me up, and guess what I'ma do? Remain silent. Bam, bam, bam. Everybody gonna play it off in court. Hi y'all. I'ma be in that room. I'm on jury trial. The jury is staged. The judge stage, lawyers, prosecutor, all the system, the whole system stage, right? And then play the system. Look,
I wouldn't be shocked if they're taking her pacemaker app and they're looking at her heart rate over the last, let's say, couple weeks and seeing when did it spike? When did it drastically change when she was in a moment of distress? And when that occurred, who was she with? What was she doing? Again, if this is being brought on, this horrible crime.
who stayed with her? Cause I know she ain't just really standing in this big ass house by her goddamn self. Hmm.
Is someone close to her? Was it someone that had been around her in the last week, the last 2 weeks, the last few days prior to her disappearance? Again, they're going to be looking at all of the communications. They're going to be bringing in our CART team, our computer analysis response team. They are phenomenal at taking all of the electronic devices and they will literally make an image. They will extract all of the information off of it. And people think, oh, I deleted my text messages. Oh, I deleted the email. No, 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 no. The FBI, they can go in and recover all of that. So again, we're
No matter what you do, everything could be covered. I don't care if look, you you can have anything on your phone. The FBI can pull it up, bruh. You just erase it off your phone. You can't recover it once you delete your files permanently on your phone. But you don't have the technology to bring up old files that you permanently delete, but the Fed do. Mm-hmm.
We're talking CART. We're talking CAST. We're talking CERC. We're talking all of these things are being brought to bear right now.
So, Nicole, thank you for outlining all that. So knowing all that, knowing those capabilities and those possibilities and options, do you think that the FBI, the local police are speaking to the perps through Savannah Guthrie and her family? Or do you think this is more the family saying, listen, this is what we want to do because we need something we need to move this forward?
Right. They want their mom back, right? Yeah. So, again, just similar to...
They want their mom back, right? Watch how she finna put her on blast. Who gonna be in her circle? Y'all know that the dude...
the response to the email, the first email, right? They work hand in hand. But at the end of the day, so for instance, a BAU profile.
They work hand in hand. She just dry snitched. The email work hand in hand. So that means, well, that sound like she would cooperate. That's why she got to read from the script. Is that the reason why she got to read from the script? First of all, let's start it off with the cast. Payments don't lie. The pings don't lie. Technology data is linking somebody with their mother at the time. And she finna be like, yeah, murder for hire. People in her circle committed a murder and the payments don't lie. We already know this. To cover up for Donald Trump said, give the power. FBI, do what you got to do to cover my ass. All right, Trump, I got you.
Filer. They would likely be working very closely with the family on the statement analysis and say, hey, look, this is what we suggest that might be good to say in a response based on these behaviors. But at the end of the day, the family calls, they make their own decisions. The FBI can say, and again, I'm not in a position, and nor am I going to comment on paying ransoms. That would be inappropriate based on I just think it's best that the FBI and the professionals, they do this all the time. And so let me just say that the family, at the end of the day, it's their choice. But they do work very, very closely. And I'm sure they're in consultation with law enforcement. And this Guthrie family, Savannah and her siblings, I mean, they want the best outcome possible. And they're doing everything in their power to bring their mom home alive. That is the goal, and that is what they want. And so I know for a fact that they are listening very closely to law enforcement, but it has to be made very clear that the FBI will never come in and say, you must do this, you must say this, you have to do this next.
Shit, it sounds like the FBI dude say you gonna say this and you gonna say that, because everybody finna read from the fucking ass script.
It's ultimately up to the family. But again, the FBI's job, their job, is to protect the American people and to do everything that they can to protect the American people. That is their job.
Nicole, we want to remind everyone of what the Guthries said in their videos from earlier this week, and then, of course, the one from today. We want to play those videos just so we can remind everyone the context and the content of both.
We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know without a doubt that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen.
Whoever is
Look at him.
out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
I take Dose for cholesterol. It's a clinically backed daily liquid supplement that supports healthy cholesterol levels, heart health, circulation, and
Nicole, does anything stand out to you in terms of the difference between these two
We will pay.
videos and the one that, of course, was just released this evening?
In this one that was released this evening, I did not hear a requirement of proof for life. I did not hear that. I did not hear a requirement to ask.
He was looking down. He was writing what's on the piece of paper. Everything scripted. Man, they just like, man, if something happened to my kids, right? They just like it. Something happened to my kids. I'm on the fucking news with paper in my hand, looking down like, yeah, I love you, and look at the paper again. The angel's gonna be with you, honey boo boo, and look at the paper again and say, Daddy loves you. Come on, man. Look.
For communication, I heard that she said, we are ready to pay. So that is a very big difference. I think it's important to note that the proof of life that was, again, I have not seen the emails, but based on press conferences, they mentioned something about a floodlight and an Apple Watch. In my opinion, that's a very weak proof of life. I want to know something that I told my mother when I was a child that only my mother would know. To me, that's a sufficient example of proof of life, not something that just recently happened that they may have been seen on the news. That's just my own personal and professional opinion. I think anyone would agree with that. I want a proof of life of only something my mother would know. Doesn't seem, again, we do not know everything. We do not know everything. The investigators do. But based on what we're hearing, that doesn't seem that happened. And also, we're not aware of any communications that may have happened. And the fact that Savannah Guthrie is, again, going on her Instagram and saying, we are ready. What she's basically saying is, look, you probably wanted time, and your time is up because we're ready. Let's go.
What that mean? You wanted more time? What that mean? It hit real different once you understand. Because she said she'd do the same shit.
What do you got? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Nicole, I know the
what
country
what it
is
look like, boo?
deeply concerned about this and sort of captivated by the story, and a huge.
So when it comes to small talk, just let's assume she talking about the brother and the 3 daughters. Makes it 4 suspects. Right? Let's just assume she'll talk about them and watch how the narrative hit different.
Question looming there is, of course, where is Nancy Guthrie? But a related question that is pressing on many minds is who possibly could be responsible for this? And you were talking about the BAU at the FBI. I know that you were not a part of it, but trying to put
and say, why would this man say, yeah, but you was not a part of it? Y'all heard this shit? Thumb me up, did y'all hear that? One more time.
This on Nancy Guthrie, but a related question that is pressing on many minds is who possibly could be responsible for this? And you were talking about the BAU at the FBI. I know that you were not a part of it, but trying to put your...
What? Man, these folks slipping every time. Again, why would you say that?
Minds is who possibly could be responsible for this? And you were talking about the BAU at the FBI. I know that you were not a part of it, but trying to put yourself sort of into that mentality, there's a universe of potential suspects someone who's very close to the family, someone who's maybe mid-range from the family with connections to the house or to the family. People have talked about a contracted employee, for example, or then this other possibility of a complete stranger that planned this from afar. If you think about those possibilities, walk us through some of those, because it's probably, it's got to be one of those three categories, right?
Correct. Absolutely. And again, no, I was not a part of the behavioral analysis unit, but I have worked very closely with them because
I was not a part of, but the people, you know, they were not a part of. We just a team, like.
I worked on violent crime, and so that's how we solve our cases. I've worked, you know, murder for hires, homicides, things of that sort, and so it's very common for us to consult regularly with the VAU program and department, and they are outstanding. These are the best profilers around. They are knowledgeable, they are highly trained, and they are very good. So let's go through the first scenario. Someone who's never a stranger, doesn't know them, a random person. Is it possible? Yes. Probable? No.
No.
It's just not highly probable based on past cases and investigative experience. Not probable. Someone who I think it's highly probable that this individual or individuals, we do not know if it's more than one person. In my opinion, it likely is more than one person. And in my opinion, I strongly believe that at least one of them, if it's more than one, is a male. Again, just based on past experience. I think it's highly
and past experience. So she got experiments in this shit, bro. But she gonna use it like, yeah, I studied cases like this, but these cases that she was a part of. So I'm getting this out of her, like, bitch, I did this shit too. You doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, all of this shit staged.
Probable that this individual is in her close circle.
Yeah.
Whether that is a family member,
the daughter,
whether that is, like you mentioned, someone who comes and cleans the pool, a nurse home caregiver.
It ain't no caregiver. It ain't the pool man. But guess who do a murder hit for hire?
Person who cleans her home, a person who does the yard. I mean, it could be a number of different things, right? That's, you know, more probable than a stranger, but it's someone who is very familiar with who she was, what time she would be there, her pattern of life, that she was 84 years old, that it was difficult for her to get around. Think about it. She is the most vulnerable victim around. I mean, it's almost like a child. Children and elderly are the most vulnerable victims that we have in society.
Elderly and children, what they sacrifice. Children and the elderly. Because you need the organ or a body to study when what made this organ fails, and you know what I'm saying, you know, stuff like that. Because you know, everybody know what a young kidney is for, what an old kidney can do, an old heart. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. This lady was sacrificed and set up.
I think that the probability of it being related, okay, when we talk about the FBI, one thing that I know for a fact that the FBI is doing, and VAU and others are going in and looking at the relationships that she had. I know that they imaged her phone. We talked all about the Celebrite. That would be used to image a device, an electronic device, whether it's a phone or a tablet, and they are going to go through all the communications that she has had. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that on those that were in her close circle, right? Let's say that her daughter, her son-in-law.
Her daughter, her son-in-law, she telling you, bruh, them the suspects. Them the suspects. Them the suspects. And they got them on camera, and they need to flip the script. That's all. So you go along with this, yeah, man, she was abducted. She got to be still alive, and she somewhere. I hope she prayed. That's how the public think. You know what I'm talking about? And it ain't even really like that. It ain't even really like that at all, bro. It sounds like they still need more time to me. You know what I'm talking about? Look.
Or other people that she was very close to. Were there any quarrels? Were there any disputes? Were there any issues? Were there any big events coming up? Were there any major financial transactions?
What major event supposed to be coming up that's dealing with a murder for hire? I believe it was a goddamn ritual. I believe it was just to get Donald Trump out, you know what I'm saying, covered up for him, cause he in the Epstein file. Shit. Savannah could have been in the Epstein files. Look at her career. You don't think she went to the island? I'm just saying. It's all a distraction. This the main reason to sacrifice. If you get caught doing something right and you need to cover up, you know what I'm saying? It's a high profile murder going on and human trafficking, and these people finna expose the devil. They finna expose all the witchcraft. They finna expose the whole college system. They finna expose all the frat people. Like, damn, that's what you frat people be doing in college and worshiping the devil and all this stuff to have success in life. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody that went to college, because you know you have regular people that go to college. We talking about the people that join them fraternities. Everyone that joined the fraternity, you getting exposed because y'all devil worshippers. No wonder why y'all stick together, do those little weird dances and shit, stomping the yard type shit. Real talk. Look.
Were there any fights about money? Was there a potential will that was being looked at? These are things that the FBI will not rule out anything. They're going to be looking at all of this. And so, again, probable versus possible, you never want to say, oh, that's not possible. But I think it's a low possibility that or a low probability, high possibility. It's likely someone that knows her well and is in her circle, in her community.
Cause I'll notice they ain't interviewing none of the mother friends. Cause I know she got friends. You know, she probably got her little friend girl like the Golden Girls. You know what I'm saying? Her little, cause you know she gonna call somebody, going to doctor appointments and all this. She gonna be on the phone talking with her friend now. You know, have y'all ever seen y'all grandmama on the phone talking to one of her little friends and shit? Like, yeah, girl, they done put me on the goddamn the perks. Girl, the goddamn perks got my foot swelled up, then I got my high blood pressure. Yeah, they gave me that too. You know what I'm talking about? And you know, that's all they finna talk about, medication and shit. Medication and them old ass TV shows and shit. Yeah, what you doing, Miss Pearl? Yeah, I'm up here watching the Golden Girls and shit. Yeah, I was just looking at Sanford and Son Lamont and shit. What you do today? I went to the doctor. That's how they gonna talk, right?
Shall we say. But again, let's take this into consideration. And I've worked many cases where it's not actually the person that has the grievance. There is someone involved in this who has a deep grievance.
Somebody, she just told us, somebody that's involved in this got the deep grievance. Who she would talk with, who she would be preferring it to? Play the footage.
Okay. The person with the deep grievance may not be the person who actually committed the crime. They may have hired someone. Okay. So again, this is just a hypothetical. This is not what I'm saying happened, but let's say it's the pool guy. It may not be the actual pool guy that went in at 1:48 a.m. It may have been
the pool guy. That's the cleaning guy. Speaking in code, pool meaning cleaning. Remember when Miss Teresa said, "Yeah, it was the pool guy round about on September." They were cleaning out the pool around 3-ish, 4-ish. I won't even be surprised. That's when they started the cover up at 140 something, whatever. When they said she came up abducted, you see what I'm saying? Look, them cold words that will be going on. A cleanup, a cover up.
The pool guy that hired their friend or someone, because that's what we do. I mean, I've worked murder for hire case.
Oh, and that's what she do is hire and murder people. Make that make sense then. So since by her saying that, do that give me every right to say, hey, these people hire people, just like what Monifa said. They said we hired 2 hitmen before y'all. Hold on. Whoa.
It may not be the actual pool guy that went in at 1:48 a.m. It may have been the pool guy that hired their friend or someone, because that's what we do. I mean, I've worked murder for hire cases.
And that's what they do. You don't slip up and say shit like that, bro. This is like me trying to break down how junkies smoke crack, and I'm like, yeah, this, I see how you hitting that pipe. That's what I'm talking about, man. This how we do that shit. Like, man, like, what you mean? Hey, man, you a junkie? Nah, I'm just, what you mean? This how you do it? This is like me explaining a gay act. Like, man, you see how that man walking down that street and throwing that little thunder booty? I'm telling you, man, this how we do this shit. Like, you gonna be like, wait, Trey Gang. Pause. You know what I'm saying? The lady said, what? Murder for hire, sacrifices, and stuff.
This is just a hypothetical. This is not what I'm saying happened. But
This
let's say it's
real?
the pool guy. It may not be the actual pool guy that went in at 1:48 a.m. It may have been the pool guy that hired their friend or someone, because that's what we do. I mean, I've worked murder for hire cases. I am not saying this is a murder for hire case, but in crimes, when the person who has the grievance does not want to be responsible for committing the crime, they go and hire someone. So that
Simple as that. Everybody not a killer. You will hire somebody, but you won't have the guts to be like, yeah, we got to make you do it. Damn. It ain't gonna go right. Hold on. Let's go to this. She said, that's what we do. We murder for hire. We hire people for murder. All this allegedly, but they said it out their own mouth. Hold on. Let me play this video. We got to go to Nancy Grace on this one, including this one too. I believe the author of the allegedly ransom. Check this out. It's a local, right? Watch this. Check it out.
All right, here with more analysis is Nancy Grace is back with us. All right, Nancy, there's a lot, again, to unpack that's new tonight. A new message. Now they're back at the home. Investigators are back at the home. A new investigation. Now the media has been pushed out. Again, no proof of life. And, the deadline is getting near. And there's no path to communication with this individual. You covered crime your entire adult life.
Man, this lady ain't even acting human. Look. Just look at all of this, right? This why they worship the owl. Look. Check her out. Look at her eyes.
All right, Nancy, there's a lot, again, to unpack that's new tonight. A new message. Now they're back at the home. Investigators are back at the home. A new investigation. Now the media has been pushed out.
Like a damn robot.
Again, no proof of life. And, the deadline is getting near. And there's no path to communication with this individual. You covered crime your entire adult life. What do you make of all this?
A lot. From the get-go, I have believed.
Damn! You went to one emotion to the other one? That sounds like a rope.
Believed that the author of these ransom notes is local. He has, it's a he, statistically, he has an attachment to KOLD. Did he grow up there? When I was writing my first fiction book, I had to refer to a radio station, a TV station. I went to the one of my childhood, WMAZ.
Why you went to the radio and you sent what? Just like what the kidnappers did to TMZ? Yeah, we got them send an email to them, right? Look.
Mental attachment. Did he grow up there? Does he watch it? I guarantee you he's watching right now. Now,
what?
Now, while there was no proof of life in this next missive, we are told that there was sensitive information. What does that mean? That could mean anything. That could mean her favorite color is purple. She likes oatmeal in the morning. Her first pet as a little girl was...
Her favorite color is purple, just like Kanika Jenkins case. When the lady called Zach TV, they own a pet mortuary too, Zach. A pet mortuary.
Sensitive information. What does that mean? That could mean anything. That could mean her favorite color is purple. She likes oatmeal in the morning. Her first pet as a little girl was cinnamon cat. I mean, it could mean anything. It could...
A cinnamon cat? Damn, that's what you call a cinnamon cat? Ooh, she spoke a cold word. You want a cinnamon cat? That's what she want early in the mornings? Give me some of that, boy. She done schooled me on some cinnamon pussy. What that? Nah, I ain't got peaches. Got this cinnamon coochie. Cinnamon coochie? Look, she said what?
We are told that there was sensitive information. What does that mean? That could mean anything. That could mean her favorite color is purple. She likes oatmeal in the morning. Her first pet as a little girl was cinnamon cat. I mean, it could mean anything. It could be anything.
Her first pet? She got the... If you... That's just like a racist. If you... Just say like... If you be behind closed doors saying the nigga word, right? Saying like cold words like, yeah, give me some more cinnamon cat. They bringing little girls in. And you know cinnamon come in powder form, you know what I'm saying? It's powder form. That shit, cinnamon look like heroin. Goddamn it. Shit, that's probably what that means. I'm from the hood now, you know what I'm talking about. Probably what that shit mean. Like, damn, cinnamon cat, put that motherfucker. And you want to have around? Oh, that goddamn. Ooh, let me get up out this joint. That could mean you could drug the kids up with heroin. Knock them out, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? They gonna be alert, but, you know, they gonna be in nod land, like, you know what I'm about? Man, look, y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready for this shit, bro. Man, y'all ready for this shit? Let's get those lights up because they slipping. You already had one news anchor, you know what I'm saying? Talking about this what we do. Murder for hire. We just got degrees in this shit. And we got the power to jump on the camera and defend everybody. In your face. And then look, cinnamon cat. Don't you know it's icing on the cinnamon bun too? I just don't eat straight cinnamon bun if that motherfucker ain't got icing on that joint. And I like it a little hot too, you know. Put it in a little microwave, cause you know what I'm about.
in there that only she would know and only the family would recognize. Now, why is he choosing to communicate with a media outlet? Probably because, trying to communicate with law enforcement is like Daniel walking into the lion's den. No.
Miss Teresa, when she was talking about Monifa, I need to go to Miss Teresa right quick. She said the same thing, didn't it, y'all? Don't y'all finna see this Illuminati pattern in there when it comes to these cold words? All right. Now, Teresa Martin. Hold up. Did she say the same? Oh, shit. Hold on. She said the same thing. We knew we let by mouth. Mouth and the devil right here. This it.
This
Right
adorable
here. Yeah,
AI companion
right here.
puppy is quickly becoming the most popular
I
Christmas
was
gift of
in the
2025.
lion's
It provides
den.
real companion.
Hey, live. I don't feel like y'all looking at me now because I got my night clothes. But excuse me, but this how I feel. This how I've been since the death of my baby.
In purple.
Sitting in spaces like.
Look at the suit she got on, the purple, all of this shit, bro. Don't no female dress like, hey, man. If I fuck with a female, right, and if a man mess with a female, he know his type, right? If you got a female that just like, she always dressed feminine, you know what I'm saying? Everything about her is feminine. Man, if your girl come out that motherfucking bathroom getting ready, like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, what you finna do? The hell? This shit gonna look so strange to you. You be like, damn, I never saw you like this before. What event you going to? Shit, cause goddamn it, I done seen goddamn it, Pimpin', what's Pimpin' name? Don, Magic Wand. He got the same suit, but he is green. So y'all got the same suit, but your color, then you got a bow tie on. I'm gonna Google cinnamon cat. It done struck a nerve to me.
This I come out with a smile, but in my body and my mind, ever since I was sitting in that room, they made us. They made me.
In that room?
After hours and hours and hours away, they made me. And this ain't no sympathy plea. Y'all asked me to speak. See, I was quiet because God said one time. At one time then.
One time.
This ain't my timing. This God's timing. This ain't for y'all to believe me. Those who have ears, y'all hear me. Y'all ain't got to hear me. Listen to God. Ask God. I pray for each one of y'all that's making a mockery at this. And as I look through all y'all pages, you know what? I was showing y'all that I know how to be ignorant. I've been knowing how to be ignorant since the start of it. I'm the biggest jokester.
And she said she the biggest jokester. You should have never said you the biggest jokester, because everybody knows about the Royal Order Jester. And guess what a jester dressed like? A joker. We all play goddamn spade. The big joker, the little joker is the biggest card on the board. It beat everything. It could be the king or queen and all this. Ain't nobody listening. Y'all ain't ready for this shit. The lady just showed the world she the biggest jokester. Yep. Yep. So what she did, walking down that street, that's just a part of that ritual. You don't think she willing to do that? Why not? Hookers do it all the time. Make you blow horns and some more shit. Man, right now, everybody, I want to raise a couple of dollars so we could get a cowbell put around that bitch head. You know what I mean? Somebody, let's get a cowbell, invest in a cowbell. But every time she get the roaming, we'll hear the boom, dong. You know what I'm talking about? I swear to God, bro. When that made me think about Methuselah. But when they go to Methuselah and stuff, I see why they would have snakes in their head, but it could be actually dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of learning when it comes to this. Look, she said she the biggest jokester. Hold on. I gotta let this bitch
I was
talk.
away and they made me, and this ain't no sympathy plea. Y'all asked me to speak. See, I was quiet because God said one time, at one time then. At one time. This ain't my timing, this God's timing. This ain't for y'all to believe me. Those who have ears, y'all hear me. Y'all ain't gotta hear me, listen to God. Ask God.
It's God.
I pray for each one of y'all that's making a mockery at this. And as I look through all y'all pages, you know what? I was showing y'all that I know how to be ignorant. I've been knowing how to be ignorant since the start of it. I'm the biggest jokester. Excuse my French if I'm offending somebody. Because God didn't tell us to be special or perfect. But y'all did. Let me tell y'all something. See, a joke
sounds like a devil. Cause what a jokester do since you the biggest jokester?
Or perfect. But y'all did. Let me tell y'all something. See, a jokester love to make jokes. A jokester make jokes on themselves. So what y'all say? When you're a child of God, baby, this armor that I wear, I've been wearing it since birth. It's crazy. I dreamed of this dream, my life right now, today, what I'm going through. That this battle was going, when I was 8 years old, and check this out, like everybody said, it's been 8 years. It took me to now to understand my dream when I was 8 years old. Oh, that battle was so strong. And
You had this dream 8 years old? Why I gotta be 8? Cause the eight is 8 never end. That's a number that's infinity, right? It's infinity, right? So if you draw an 8 around the eye, that ain't nothing but man, I learned so about Illuminati when it comes to the 8, it ain't number like look at it like turn the 8 sideways, look at it like glasses. She said she the biggest jokester.
I got so low when I was quiet, y'all. I was down. That was my dream. I was real low. I was ready to give up. And then I remembered in my dream to call on Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. Oh.
The devil that told you to sacrifice your daughter. Look how you just caught the Holy Ghost then.
Real low. I was ready to give up.
Give up in
and
life.
And then I remembered in my dream to call on Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. Oh. So I'm calling on Jesus, not man. Oh, because when I called on man before, what man did to me, y'all forsake me. Y'all talked about me. Y'all mistreated me. Y'all did me similar to what they call Jesus. And thank God that y'all did that. Because I used to question about myself. I looked in the mirror for 51 years and I never saw who God created me to be. Hallelujah. But let me tell y'all something today. Y'all say something wrong with me. It is. I'm stayed up on Jesus. I'm crazy about the Lord. For God I live and for God I die. And if they ready to take me to court, they say if I put both of them together, I heard them, I see them. If God show me a little, what makes y'all think he won't show me a lot? I'm going to pray for y'all that send them y'all words. Because I'm calling. I told y'all once, the rapture is coming. I wish y'all understand this. But those who have ears, y'all don't have to understand because I ain't God. All praises we give to the Most High. I'm asking y'all. Y'all ain't even got to keep on saying it. Because I thank God for every time y'all said something bad. Guess what? I used that and I ate it. Y'all know why I ate? Because that was my strength. God
Woo! But God. And guess who but God is? Buddha. Buddha. Let's get back to the sacrifice. Purple, cinnamon cats, lion dens, sacrifice, stage events, lights, camera, action, and everybody reading from the same script.
He feels comfortable writing KOLD. He didn't put another deadline in. And most important, while everyone is looking at the negative aspects of this last missive, I'm looking at the positive. This guy wants to deal. He wants to talk. I'm sure there's a number of reasons he's not communicating directly with Savannah or a sibling or law enforcement. He feels at home, better with, more protected with KOLD. And I guarantee you something else. There was something in that letter that just came down today that put them up on the top of that roof, and they are now scouring the foothills in the area. The homeowner association in that neighborhood has contacted everyone living there.
Same thing when it comes to the Kaniga Junior case. Then they say they had police searching the roof top. Why it got to be a roof? What the fuck gonna be going on in the roof? If you know how Richard was worked, you would be like, oh yeah. Look, yeah, you know.
Saying they're coming, they're searching, please open up your properties. Interesting that they are searching the properties of people in that very area, home to home, curtilage to curtilage, that's garage.
Just to see who all saw some so they won't get exposed. That's all.
Shed, dollhouse, you name it. Why? I'm curious. That tells me something. But I'm very intrigued with them going up on the roof. What was in that note that put them up on the roof?
Okay. They went back to the house. Law enforcement has gone back. By the way, they have over 100 local people with adjoining counties participating and the FBI. So there are a lot of resources now on the ground here. Back at the house, media removed. That's interesting to me. They don't want this guy knowing what they are up to, although you can see the shot from the roof. Now, one other piece of the puzzle. There was a Circle K that confirmed that law enforcement did go to one of their stores receiving a tip regarding a vehicle of interest, and their team provided them.
And keep this in mind, they pulled somebody over and let the person go, right? Now, this is FBI doing this shit. Man, FBI don't make no mistakes. Man, the FBI is not finna misidentify nobody. Maybe they need somebody that fit the description, that look like somebody. See what I'm saying? Look, check it out.
Access to the store's surveillance video. Now, this is an issue that we discussed in detail last night, and that is, okay, there's one way in, there's one way out. At some point, there has to be some camera, some place picking up license plates, vehicles, type of vehicles that are in the surrounding area, were in the surrounding area at the time of this abduction.
It's very simple. From the stream to the river, from the river to the ocean, there's an outlet. Just as you're saying, there's an outlet, even though there may not be cameras that are helping us in that neighborhood, there's got to be a stop sign or a red light. And another thing about this quick trip, where they got the surveillance, Same thing happened in Brian Kohberger. Same thing happened in Alex Murdaugh. You follow the road. You follow it to its natural end, its turning point, its dead end. You have to go one way or the other. And this quick trip is also telling me the direction the perp went. See what I mean? You get to the red light, that way or that way, he's going that way. Okay, what is that way? Where is that leading me? It's slim, true, but it's something. I would be on those red lights on every LPR license plate reader. Along that way, there are about 200 in the Tucson area. Knuckle down. Also, I just wanted to tell you, I spoke with one of the founding members of CAST, Cellular Analysis Survey Team, and they are all over it tonight. They have people there in D.C. working with people locally. The locals are trying to download what they can from the towers, and those elsewhere remote are analyzing it. Remember, there's only 3 really big servers, and that would be AT&T, T-Mobile, and VCW. All the other mom and pops use those lines. They are now identifying cars in that area that were there between that time, that critical time frame between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. And they're finding cars that went in and out, not like an Uber driver, but stayed for a certain period of time and left. And remember, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's driving around at that time of the morning on an early Sunday morning? I have great faith. Now, here's the problem with that, Sean. Burner phones. Because when you prepay, you can put, hey, my name is Bugs Bunny. You don't have to put your name or your real address, your real phone number, none of that. Because if it's a burner phone turning up in that area, they then have to find out where was it purchased, try to get video, the works. Then they'll have to see who did Bugs Bunny call? Is he calling his girlfriend? Is he calling his dope dealer? It's very hard when you got a burner phone, but I know that CAST, Cellular Analysis Survey Team, is about 3 inches up that tailpipe tonight.
Let's go back to what Harvey just revealed to us in the initial letter that he got at TM.
She just gave y'all some real technology. Check this out. She just gave y'all some real technology, because don't you know how a real killer would think? Like, damn. The worst thing I could do is have a burner phone. Cause just say, if I know that right, I know not to take a burner phone with me, cause they can locate a burner phone in the area. And just have this time being committed, the FBI can ping the towers and say, well, it was a burner phone in this location, track that burner phone. In your face telling you how technology works. Technology works. Look.
That use those lines. They are now identifying cars in that area that were there between that time, that critical time frame between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. And they're finding cars that went in and out, not like an Uber driver, but stayed for a certain period of time and left. And remember, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's driving around at that time of the morning on an early Sunday morning? I have great faith. Now, here's the problem with that, Sean. Burner phones. Because when you prepay, you can put, hey, my name is Bugs Bunny. You don't have to put your name or your real address, your real phone number, none of that. Because if it's a burner phone turning up in that area, they then have to find out where was it purchased, try to get video, the works. Then they'll have to see who did Bugs Bunny call? Is he calling his girlfriend? Is he calling his dope dealer? It's very hard when you got a burner phone, but I know that CAST, Cellular Analysis Survey Team, is about 3 inches up that tailpipe tonight.
Let's go back to what Harvey just revealed to us in the initial letter that he got at TMZ. The letter said that Nancy would be returned back to Tucson within a specific time frame. That's very telling. He actually gave us a really good perimeter, great analysis of the distance it would take to drive back to Tucson. That's part one. Number two, neighbors say a suspicious white van was spotted on their street only days before Guthrie went missing. You know, one particular neighbor said he informed police about the unmarked van when he was questioned by authorities. Okay. This doesn't look like the type of neighborhood, Nancy, where you just happen to stop and let me sit here for a few hours and eat my lunch. And most workers. This doesn't look like the type of neighborhood, Nancy.
My bad, gang. Did y'all just hear that? Now look, then Trey Gang say, hey, I don't care what you do in the world, do not send no emails because you got an IP address on it, right? And then look, everybody know this. Is Trey Gang about to expose, when I say this, everybody watch crime, FBI files and First 48 and stuff like that, right? And then when it comes to the emails 99% solve cases. And you mean to tell me y'all don't see a major cover up that, damn, the FBI can't say where the email coming from? They can't just pull it up, but Harvey keep getting email back to back, but the killer did not contact the family at all. They contacted the news outlet and giving them more power. Because guess what? TMZ got the email. Like in the Kanika Jigga case, a lot of email was floating out. They sent me one. Come to find out the email told me little truth and a little white lie. Yeah. So you see all the similarities, right? Look, that's what she is, an educated crime cleaner. This is whole life. They know the truth, but they're going to give you a conspiracy mode. Look.
Are in a van that is marked with their company logo. So that seems odd to me.
So what would seem odd to you? That means the crime took him a couple of days before anybody reported her missing. So that means all this shit, the brother-in-law dropping her all 1 in the morning and all this. That tells me she was never abducted. She was sacrificed. It was a cover up. And once they covered it up, that's why they had to do like a reenactment, getting you a doorbell phone and trying to identify the subject. Look.
That seems like surveillance to me.
Yes, it does. And the fact that this was noticed by more than one person gives it the indicia of credibility. It's not just one Gladys Kravitz next door going, hey, I saw a white van. No, it's more than one person, and they seem to be credible. So that needs to be chased down.
So that means a neighbor came out. That means if a neighbor come out public and say, hey, I saw something suspicious about a van. Watch how they finna defend the van. But exposing the van, but defend it at the same time. Look.
And now that they have the general description of the van and they've got a date, they're going to be able to go back to that red light I keep talking about and get a description and maybe even a license and track it down.
And what if you track it down to a federal van that's linked back to you see what I'm saying? That's what their biggest fear is right there, bro. And they keep talking about at that red light. So start about at a gas station before you go to the hood. Everybody know when you go home, you stop at the store before you go to the house, right? House right down the street. Look.
That is big. Yes, it's a needle in a haystack, but it's something, Sean.
Time is going by, and apparently she's not in the best of health. She needs her medication, and time is really of the essence. And that second deadline warning that Harvey mentioned, that's chilling. That's why I think.
Hold on. TMZ. Check this out. This finna get even more crazy. Now, he getting the email. Hold on. Now, look when he first got the email. Hold on. Hold on. I need the first email. Because why would they send him the why would the person would send him an email? To keep a script going? Not the family. Won't you think the person with the ransom note would send it to the family? We want $6 million. But you want to get him the email and say they asking for $6 million, and make the family look good. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where that John at? Hold on. Where that John at? Let me just go to their page. I just got to go to his page. Is it on the live? All right. I'm going to be on the video, I think. I dealt one. I dealt one. Gonna be like some right up her. Breaking news. Received it was 9 days ago. Right here, y'all. I believe this is it. Check this out. Look how
What's that?
It's compounded hogwash.
Bet those weight loss meds ain't FDA approved.
Smells like.
So, something happened here just a few minutes ago. We received an email at TMZ from somebody.
On paper? On paper. Everybody read from the script. The Savannah did it, the brother did it, and the other sister did it. He doing it, and he the one got the ransom note to me. Why you didn't screenshot it like how we do? Like, yeah, screenshot this shit in the show. You gonna this what they do, show paperwork. Look. Sacrifice. Power to rewrite the whole script. Look.
Purporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but the top line to it is that they are asking for money, a lot. They are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that.
Damn, what was that about? What was that about? What was the cover? Why you had to cover this part up? Then look, is this an email? What is this written on? You got a number on her. That look like a 250. Why is 0007? That a 4. Look like a 5. Man, look, them numbers. Look.
They are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that there is an address, a Bitcoin address that
Oh shit. Woo. Man, y'all get those likes and shares up, cause man, I be on it. It just look at it like this here. When I be talking about this type of stuff, I know people not gonna believe me, because that's how much power these people have. People will automatic look. This how you know they lose the battle. Look, this worse than straight drop. What he did on the Kaniga Jinga. Yeah, I got the email. Somebody reach out to me. They gave me the truth. I'm like, oh my God, sweet Jesus. Look, cover that number up. I already got it. I'm finna fuck around and dial that motherfucker right now. You know what I mean? Hold on, watch him. Check him out. Watch this.
that reporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but the top line to it is that they are asking for money, a lot. They are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that that there is an address, a Bitcoin address that that they could send this money to, and then they give a description of something that Savannah's mother was wearing at the time of the abduction, and a damaged item in the house.
Both things are clear.
And they didn't send none of this to the family. But something to them, like come on, bro. This let you know they just exposed they all got something to do with this shit. Allegedly. But we read between the lines, right? I'm finna play all the videos. I'm finna play them in sequence. Cause look, they the one came out with the breaking news. That's where they fucked up at. You got a letter here. You got a fucking letter. This a script. This is not no email. This is what he was supposed to say. Cause that's why you gotta send it to TMZ. Cause guess what? Look what would happen. Oh shit, they got a ransom note. They said they want 6 million in Bitcoins. That's how they gonna pay for the murder hire plot. But don't you know that 6 million was paid, right? But nobody. Hold on. Was it confirmed they paid that 6 mil? Watch this.
Clearly mentioned because they want to prove that they're legit. That
So
they have information about something that happened in the house. We
don't know.
Don't know if that is accurate.
We have called the sheriff's department. We've made multiple calls, spoken with the detective unit.
And keep this in mind, they know how emails work. They break cases all the time, you know what I'm saying? They don't really just solve murder cases. It's kind of funny that these people really just don't talk about murder cases. Everybody knows they deal with a bunch of celebrities that's in the organ harvesting and rituals and witchcraft. You know what I'm talking about? They'll do anything for the brotherhood. Look, this man, this man is not black. He could pass for black. He's not black. A black man don't wear his dreads like this. I wouldn't even be surprised, man. You goddamn it, get you some goddamn glue removal. Man, that man you can lift the whole man hair scalp out like. Look, the body will never be found. This is gonna go down in history. The mystery disappearance of Nancy. Watch how many documents finna come after that. Movies. Doing reenactments in the movie. Be like, yeah, this how it could have went and, and the show a blockbuster. You know what I'm talking about? Hold up. Look. You got an email. You couldn't even share this on the screen to verify. Now you had to print that out. Know it's something wrong with that. That's the first. Look, if I did some shit like that, be like, yeah, somebody sent me an email then, and this thing, I turn the camera around to a goddamn piece of paper. Don't show you what's written on it. No, Trey, I can't go along with that one, no. But when it comes to paperwork, you could print anything you want on that motherfucker. See that? Watch this. Check this out. Watch this.
We have passed on this email. We don't know whether this is legit or not, but I will say this happens from time to time where a media outlet gets something like this. So just in due diligence,
The one thing we should say
to be taken very, very seriously. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the one thing we should say is that we have confirmed it. At least the Bitcoin address that they've included in this email is legit.
Right. And the authorities will have to take this.
If it's a legit, you know who Bitcoin it is then. He finna monitor that, John.
Very seriously. This is a piece of material evidence that has been turned over. They think an abduction happened. They have found substance in the house. The detective walked back.
Then that man just clearly slipped up too. They think abduction happened.
A little bit. The authorities will have to take this very seriously. This is a piece of material evidence that has been turned over. They think an abduction happened. They have found substance in the house. The detective walked back a little bit. The sheriff walked back the blood idea. They said that things have been gathered and they are testing those substances. But he did clarify.
Where the blood was found? Drop it in my chat right now, y'all. Where the blood was found? I don't know. Can anybody know what they said where the blood was found there? I might make a point when I say this. Because I just recently just got on this case, you know what I'm talking about? And I was just doing All right. Like I thought, if they found blood on the doorway, not inside the house, but on the doorway, the entrance of the doorway where you get the ring bell tone from, why would the news say this? Check this out. Watch this, y'all. I'm finna light them up with this one. So let's go back to the disappearance. Check this out. Since it was blood on the doorway, on the porch, how did they miss this? Kill him, Trey Gang, with this one.
Guthrie was last seen at her home in the Catalina foothills, just outside Tucson, on the evening of Saturday, January 31st, 2026. She was dropped off by her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, 8, 9, 10 at approximately 9:50 p.m. Cioni, who's married to Guthrie's daughter Annie. 11 is the last known person to have seen her. 4, 12, 13 Guthrie did not arrive for a scheduled church service the following morning, prompting concern. A member of her church contacted the family to report that she had not appeared as expected. Relatives went to her home around 11 a.m. to check on her, search the house and surrounding property.
Search the house and no surrounding property and then see the blood. Watch this. And this at 11 a.m. You got a church member that she gonna keep in touch with, like, man, she ain't showed up. Let me call her family. And that's how you got close connection to her. Hold on. Close connection to her, right? So the family member finna be like, boom. Hey, at 11, hold on, wait a minute. They said she was at church, the family member was at church and noticed, you know what I'm saying, she didn't arrive. So when they call her, look, approximately at 9:50. No, not 9:50. Where I was at, they were scheduled to go to church service that morning. Prop concerns, a member at the church contacted the family and reported that she had not expected. So look, around late 11 a.m., they searched the house and surrounding the property and found no signs of her. They searched the house. If that mean they searched the house, somebody got keys. You don't think nobody went to the porch? Oh, my mama supposed to be here. Let me look around. Guess who the family will be showing up first with the keys? You don't need no broken window, no nothing. If you know this is set up, this was the whole reenactment. They just waiting on the call. That's all they just need to wait on the call. Stay out of pocket to somebody like, hey, did you know? And that's how you play victim. Watch this. Check this out.
Property and found no sign of her. Around noon, the family called 911 and reported Guthrie missing to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. 14 deputies responding to the residents noted that Guthrie's personal belongings, including her phone and other essential items, were still inside the home. Given her limited mobility and the absence of any indication that she had left voluntarily, investigators immediately regarded the situation as more than a routine missing person report.
See that? The phone gonna be in the house. Check this out. I won't even be surprised they brought the phone back. Ain't that crazy? You got the keys to the house. Then the phone there. Then you got blood on the porch. And you mean to tell me if you call the law right, the law gonna look around the whole premise and see was it with foul play or not? Better know that. It's a missing person report. That's the first thing the police finna do. Look around the area and do they see any type of foul play, unusual things that normally don't supposed to be. Now look, they ain't even gonna tell you where the phone was pinging when everything with whoever was on the phone with the app, keeping up with the life alert, whoever, they ain't gonna ping where that phone exactly location was. Cause it would pinpoint who had the phone. No surveillance footage of the house.
Report 14. Official timeline.
Listen.
Edit. At a press conference on Thursday, February 5th, 2026, authorities released a detailed timeline surrounding Guthrie's disappearance, 13, 15, 16. Saturday, January 31st, 2026. Time. Event. 5:32 p.m. Guthrie takes an Uber to her daughter Annie's home for dinner.
Show me proof. Did it just start it off with one of the daughters? Crazy game. Now this is the daughter husband, which they would be the mother-in-law, right? You know what I'm saying? He would be the son-in-law, right? If you don't smell the setup, if you got the neighbor saying, man, I saw a white Savicious van that was on that street days before all of this shit happened. Days. You don't mean to tell me, man, them folk came up with an old script like, yeah, boom. Just look at the neighbor with like, damn, this what I saw. I saw a white van. I don't know, something happened to her, but I just saw a white van and they were bringing, and I think that was her. It looked like a body. I was like, I want to know if she died because she 80 years old. And then you like, damn, I saw the whole medical people over here. And boom. And this time you know, the news come on, she been abducted. Man, what you think? Man, what you think? The goddamn, you would be like, what the hell? Unmarked white van. Look, what you think they got to cover up now? And check this out. The man said this here. Look at the timestamp. The doorbell camera at Guthrie house was disconnected. This at 1:47. What time? The son-in-law dropped her off. Watch this, y'all. This where they slipped up at. 1:47 a.m. What time she was dropped off? She was last seen Saturday when she was dropped off. Oh no. They no. Cause the shit that I just read, it wasn't at no 9:50 p.m. Cause the shit that I read, I had the impression. Matter of fact, I might still got the ad up. Hold on, y'all. Matter of fact, be right back. Hold on. Where that John at? Hold up. Hold on, y'all. I just read some shit like. Cause I got the press.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and
I had the impression that man dropped her off around he ain't say no 9 p.m. when I read on one of these articles. I'ma find it. Cause I got the impression that he supposed to be dropped her off by her son-in-law around 1 something in the morning. So he was gonna be the last person that seen her. All right. So let's go with 9 p.m. then. Oh, shit. She took an Uber to the house at 9:48. She was dropped off by the son-in-law of the husband. At 9:50, she entered the garage door. This at 9, right? All her cameras gonna show her. So 10, 11, 12, 4 hours later, a doorbell camera of the home is disconnected. Right? Doorbell. So they saying it was at 1. 2:12, motion detect. Now look, how many minutes that would be? Motion detected on February 10th. The FBI released it. Wait a minute. Motion was detected on February 10th. The police released the footage of the next camera. The back end system, y'all remember when they said the back end system? The back end system is that if you got, just say if you got cameras, just say your internet off, you know your cameras ain't recording. But if shit get real like a terror attack or something like that, they got the ability to call the backup system and see what was happening. It's in the phone. It's in your camera. It's in all of this. It's everywhere, bro. So look. So look what be going on. The Peacemaker app is disconnected. 212, the back end system showing an armed individual with tampering devices. 11 a.m., a churchgoer called the family. 11:50, family arrived at the home and discovered she was missing. They called 911. Deputies showed up. Investigation, right? When it all comes down, everybody missed the blood on the porch. Hold up. When you go to Selena Gomez, she covering up for Kanika Jenkins' murder of the person that needed her kidneys.
I wanted us to feel good.
Yeah.
So our friend came over and did cute little French braids for us.
And we couldn't eat after midnight, so we stuffed our faces.
I think I ordered like
way too much food. Yeah. But I had to go in first. And when I woke up, I just was really calm.
Did you ever fear for your own health?
Yeah, I did. I had to write a will, which was scary because there's no guarantee you'll wake up.
And your family wasn't even sure when you told your mom. She was like, what are you doing?
My mom didn't want to be there until I woke up. She loves Selena, and so she was torn.
Before she was wheeled in, Francia asked to see her friend.
She came in and she, held my hand, and she's like, are you good? I was like, yeah.
It's a repeat cycle. Just like the person said, hey, you got patterns, similarities. You see what I'm saying? Look.
That is a very open and active investigation, so we'll have to see what happens.
So we will let you know. But right now, again, all we're doing is we've sent this on to detectives, and we will see.
Watch what magnesium does to your bowels.
If you have to wipe more than 4 times after you poop, here's why.
Watch this.
Here now with more is founder of TMZ, Harvey Levin, is with us. Harvey, my friend, wish I saw you under better circumstances. Let's talk a little bit what you learned as this was going on in real time while you're doing the show.
Well, I kind of need to back this up to Tuesday when we received what looked like a ransom letter. And so we called the sheriff's department in Pima, and they took the information. There was something in that letter that caught my eye at the end where they mention both, now I can say it because the FBI said it, an Apple Watch and a damaged floodlight. What I found interesting, because we knew she wore an Apple Watch, there are pictures of her with Savannah with that watch, but they mentioned where the watch was, the placement of the watch in the house. And that's not something that was out there. So I had a long talk with the sheriff's department. A couple hours later, the FBI called, and they wanted a lot of information. So
they really told them, look, check this out. So basically, they told them the watch is in the house.
When I said there are 2 deadlines, yes, there is one that changes the demand, and that's the one that that has already passed. And the one on Monday is far more consequential.
Well, I want to go back to that word consequential, because what you said on your show, something is supposed to change if they don't pay the money by the first deadline, quote, but the second deadline is much more important. And now you're saying much more consequential. Look, I'm not going to ask you to disclose anything you can't disclose, but it sounds dire. It sounds like the urgency to find her. Time is certainly of the essence. Number one, for medication, her age, her health. And it sounds like there's
Savannah never said nothing about her mama medication that she needed. Know what I'm talking about? None of that. Look.
a greater threat behind this.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're reading it right. I will say the letter begins, and again, we're not sure that this is really written by the person who asked Nancy. But I will say the letter begins by saying she is safe but scared. And they go on to say she knows exactly what the demand is. And so...
So you just identify the person as a she?
She knows exactly what the demand is. And so they are, through us telling the family, and obviously the sheriff's department gave the family the letter we received, exactly what they're demanding, and they're saying that Nancy is aware of it. They are also saying, Sean, and I find this, pretty interesting when you look at what happened today. They're saying that this will be their only communication. And they are done communicating, negotiating, here's the deal, and that's it. And, as the clock ticks, I think that's one of the reasons the FBI and other authorities have, gotten desperate here, because as far as we can tell, it's impossible.
This shit crazy. If you got an email, the FBI, the technology they got, if this shit was real, they would have had the suspect off the rip. Everybody know that. Right? Everybody know email solve cases. Email reveal the true killer behind emails. Watch this. Let me show y'all something. Listen to this. Killer genius thought he got away with murder. Not him, not him. Right here, him. Check this out. Look, this story is so interesting, bruh. Check this out. This how police caught Colorado most smartest killers. And guess what it's all finna boil down to? Through an email. This what solved the case. An email, bruh. So look, everything what he said about an email. Oh, you got the email? Let's show you how they use their technology and caught the real killer. And this a good one.
This is the mother of 43-year-old Crystal Krug. In a few seconds, she's going to find Crystal's lifeless body inside this very garage.
Hello? I need to stay out, please.
And this is Daniel Krug, the man who killed her. He's heading in for another normal workday, just minutes after leaving his wife's lifeless body hidden in the garage of their own home.
Oh, shit. Holy fuck.
For the last 4 months, this man has been engineering the most calculated homicide plot Colorado has ever seen, creating fake identities, manipulating Crystal's children, and setting up the perfect scapegoat to take the blame. He believes his plan is bulletproof, that police will spend weeks chasing a ghost and eventually arrest someone else for the murder he committed. And despite
Man, that shit so real, bruh. Look. Check this out. To make a long story short, the man came up with a plan to frame his wife, ex-boyfriend, make multiple accounts, and sending emails to his wife, and she thinking it's the ex-boyfriend, but it's the husband the whole time. That it got to a point the wife was filing reports because she got an ex stalking her. But the whole time it's the ex stalking her with emails. And he had the police thinking this is a stalking case. Cause the own wife even went to the police report and say, hey, my ex is threatening my husband. And the husband is the one. Crazy shit. Basically what I'm saying here, if you watch this video,
Nearly perfect detective.
hold on. If you watch this video and go to him talking about he got an email, and go back and watch this crime. Matter of fact, let me go to this. Check this out.
Martinez finds a closed but unresolved stalking complaint from years earlier. The victim who filed it is a woman named Carrie, and as it turns out, she was Daniel's ex-girlfriend. The more Martinez reviews, the more disturbing the pattern becomes. The report claims she was stalked for weeks by an obsessed man who impersonated multiple people, manipulating her through fake identities. Detectives quickly locate Carrie and bring her in for an interview. When they sit down with her, they uncover a story so disturbingly similar to Crystal's, it opens up an entirely new theory.
So look, right here, this the wife telling the detective about the ex. The dude that she fucking with got an ex telling them the same story. And it all come from making fake email accounts. Not only did he make female email account, whatever email, whatever computer you was on, whatever phone, you got a fingerprint and it's in the system. If you lose your phone right now, right? If the police really just put it like this here. Just say you out somewhere, you drop your phone and you can't find it. And you like, damn, I lost my phone. And just say your phone died and the battery dead. Now you can't track your phone because you know what I'm saying, the junk dead. The FBI could ping your phone and tell that motherfucker where is it. If your house get broken in and they steal your TV, the feds could ping that motherfucker and show camera footage on your same TV you reported missing because they got serial numbers and a personal identification number. Right? That's what I'm saying. If you look at this case, bruh, I swear to God, look, y'all go to this job right now, Dr. Insane. How police caught the. Check this out. You won't even skip it. Because once you find out that, damn, they were fucking with the same nigga. And he actually killed, and really, if it weren't for his wife, because that's why she came to the police, because he's starting to threaten her husband. That's why she got all this shit on the paperwork and then make it so bad. She started doing her own research, hired a private investigator and everything. And then she went to the police and had suspicions like, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to be thinking like this, girl, but I think it's my husband. Look. So when you think about that email, once you watch this video and think about that's how he got caught. And it fucked him up how they caught him. Cause look, when they was explaining to him about this, look, watch this.
What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys,
Obvious he struck a nerve.
I've seen enough movies. It's always the husband. I get it.
After detectives collect the initial information from Daniel, his children finally arrive at the police department. They still don't know what happened to their mother, only that something is very, very wrong. Daniel is notified of their arrival and given a choice. Should he be the one to tell them, or leave it to officers and Crystal's family? Instead of letting someone else deliver the news.
Oh, that's when he confessed. We need to go to her. Watch this. That's when they were talking about your security home. This is when they broke it down to him. Y'all see his posture right here? Look. Check this out. The way that man, I ain't even go lie, bro. I wouldn't even be surprised somebody would try to copycat it and get away with this one. But look.
Security system. You access that through your personal phone. Google Nest. That's Google Nest. Okay?
Google Nest. Don't that sound familiar? The Nest cam, when it come to the disappearance of Nancy.
Listen to me. Okay. Just push a home. Okay. So I have your permission to operate this phone and get what we need? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how many different cameras do you have? 4. Doorbell.
Even the burner phone. Y'all see this? They go to Nest. Watch this. Ain't this funny? When it comes to her footage, guess what they call that camera? The ring tone. The ring camera. Watch this. The Nest camera.
To operate. Hi. Your home security system. You access that through your personal phone. Google Nest. That's Google Nest. Okay?
Google Nest.
Hi.
So I don't sound so crazy when I pull like Nest. What Nest got to do with it? It's a code name. It's a code name. It's a code name, bro. Look.
Listen to me. Okay. Just push a home. Okay. So I have your permission to operate this phone and get what we need? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how many different cameras do you have? 4. Doorbell. Side of the house, driveway, back door. How long have you had it? Doorbell, a couple years. The others, all since September. We had a.
Remember, September is the big time. You know, y'all know what September mean if you down with this Illuminati exposing shit, right? Look. Next September.
We had an intruder. I called the police. He came when we had a garage intruder.
A month after Daniel reported the garage intruder back in September is when the stalking first began, and by then, the couple had already installed multiple cameras around the house, plus their Ring doorbell. But even with all that security, and after police confirmed they had no GPS trackers on their cars, the stalker still found a way to follow them, sending Crystal a photo of Daniel walking into work and texting her about seeing her at the dentist. So as the detective scrolls through the surveillance footage to understand the timeline, he notices something strange that catches Daniel off guard.
So when do your cameras go off? Do you ever have them set to turn off?
24/7.
Okay.
They don't turn off.
24/7.
You,
They don't turn off, but
you
time
lose internet
skipping.
or in the app.
Did you lost the internet? Ooh, and they got a digital print. That's why they asking him there. This how the emails finna get.
You can turn them off.
And who has the ability to turn off the cameras? Who has the ability?
Cause the internet gonna tell you if it was a mixed signal or did somebody actually press the button and say disable or enable. You hit the button. Look, watch them.
Go in the app and turn these off.
Christine, me, and God,
It's all right. It's all right, Dan.
home shows all four.
Oh,
And
perfect.
home. I can settings.
Okay. Oh,
Just us.
just okay.
The detective's question here isn't by chance. It's prompted by something peculiar he noticed on the surveillance app. All of the home's cameras shut off at 8:15 a.m. and they stay off until 10:15 a.m. Only the camera pointed outside the garage remains active during that entire 2-hour window. This
Same thing in this case. In the Nancy case, always the doorbell camera gonna catch on.
instantly narrows the murder time frame to those 2 hours. Just then, Martinez finally arrives at the interview room. He's the lead detective who's been handling Crystal's stalking case for months, and now that case has become something far worse. He sits down with her devastated husband, feeling the weight of the loss they both couldn't prevent. They didn't save Crystal, they couldn't protect her, and now they're here, mourning her loss, trying to piece together what happened.
I'm trying to protect her.
It's not your fault.
I was supposed to protect her.
See that?
It's not your fault. I'm sorry I didn't answer. Actually.
See that? That's how they talk. Like, I supposed to protect her. Like, damn, nigga, what you mean you supposed to, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't had nothing to do with that, you know what I'm talking about. There's nothing you could do. So all that is, you supposed to protect her, but you killed her. That's all I got out of this, screaming, I supposed to protect her. That's what you supposed to do. You turned around and killed her.
She wasn't in today.
As Daniel breaks down, something catches Martinez's attention. Daniel is crying, but there are no tears. The detective finds it strange and more than a little concerning.
Hold on, so let's do this. They go the same thing from her, right? Don't they go the same thing for her? No tears, no nothing. Oh, where the video at? Oh, I took it off. I took it. No tears, no emotion. When they interviewed the daughter. Guess what else you finna see all the similarities?
Wanting to probe deeper, Martinez asks for a moment alone with Daniel to see what's really going on beneath the surface. And the moment he starts asking questions, things get heated, fast.
I know you said that you don't think that there was somebody else. She said. Okay. Why do you keep asking that? I'm just trying to put everything together to kind of get a bigger picture, because you said that she's been acting kind of weird lately and, you know, being very secretive and withholding of information for you. So I'm just trying to understand, I guess, so we can backtrack what she's been doing this past month.
Martinez's question here is telling of what he's thinking. He's not ruling out Daniel as a possible suspect. After all, the couple were going through a separation period, and this is meant to probe whether jealousy or something else could have played a role in Crystal's death. Sensing the tension in Daniel's response, the detective decides not to press any further. But as they step out for a quick break, Daniel says something that makes it obvious he struck a nerve.
I've seen enough movies. It's always the husband. I get it.
After detectives collect the initial information from Daniel, his children finally arrive at the with all.
Scribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch this. It'll change your life.
All statements collected, detectives wrap the family interviews and regroup to make sense of everything they've gathered. By combining everything they've learned, detectives land on a clearer picture of where the investigation now stands. The family interviews raised enough concern, and there was enough tension in the marriage that detectives decide they can't rule out Daniel yet, and he officially becomes a potential suspect. But even with Daniel now on the radar, Anthony remains as the obvious prime suspect in Crystal's homicide. His threats and weeks-long stalking campaign still place him at the center of the investigation. With that in mind, detectives know their next move. It's time to find Anthony. At around 3 p.m. that afternoon, the only thing that can give them a...
That's when he got caught. It's right here, gang. My bad, y'all. All right, this how he got caught. And he tried to frame him and got the police on his ass because he used to be the ex of his wife. He thought he wanted to know if his wife was cheating on him or not. So he made a count of his account, right? And was texting her like, hey, what's up? And she like, nothing, I'm married, you know what I'm saying? And all this. And he couldn't believe it, like she shot him down, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that didn't work for him. He wanted to find out was his wife was cheating on him and killed the girl for no reason. And look what he went through. When the police, this how the police found out about the email. Harvey, I hope you watching this shit. Because all those emails you said you got. Right? Those emails. Look how he got caught.
A definitive answer
emails.
is the digital evidence. So while they wait for that, Martinez receives something he can work with immediately. The full set of surveillance footage collected from the neighborhood and Daniel's workplace. Investigators sit down and begin reconstructing the full picture of what happened before Crystal was killed. Shortly before 8 a.m., Crystal arrives home after dropping off the kids. She pulls into the garage, closes the door, and everything looks normal. Minutes later, at 8:15 a.m., the entire security system goes offline. Every camera except the outside garage camera is taken down for the next 2 hours. At 8:25 a.m., that lone camera records something deeply concerning. Daniel leaves the house to go to work later than he normally does, and shortly after the time medical examiners believe Crystal was killed. From there, workplace footage shows Daniel moving through the building around 9 a.m., greeting coworkers and appearing completely normal, as if nothing had happened at home. And when investigators check footage from surrounding houses, they find no one approaching the property all morning. Everything about the timeline makes Daniel look more suspicious by the minute. With all these new developments, detectives bring Daniel back in for another interview. He walks in expecting routine procedural follow-ups, completely unaware of how much has changed since the last time he sat in this room. This is when Daniel's months-long, carefully crafted plan begins to crumble. This time, Detective Martinez walks in with a completely different energy than before. He's no longer feeling Daniel out. He's here with one clear objective: confront him with what's been uncovered and see if his version of events finally breaks.
All right. How you feeling right now?
No, he ain't forgot the camera. This the crazy part about it. Man, look. When I get through going live, go back and watch this whole junk. Man, I swear you're gonna be like, damn. Bro, you could have got away with this shit, bro. You had it. You had it. If it wasn't for your wife, you were harassing your wife so bad that she went to the police report and did her own research, and they would look and that ain't what he. This is what he forgot to do when it comes to those emails.
Just kind of about everything. No.
Everything hurts. I feel like I have two different voices going through my head right now. I have my brother Matthew. Yeah, I've mentioned him. He's the sheriff's lieutenant. And I have his voice saying, talk to the police. And in typical cop fashion, you married a prosecutor. So I have Lynn's voice in my head going, get a fucking lawyer. I just want this to be done. I just don't want to be here.
Why don't you invest in tax liens? This is exactly what the wealthiest 1% are doing to passively.
Right away, Daniel doesn't open the interview casually. He opens it with a calculated trick. By hinting at getting a lawyer, he's warning detectives, push too hard, and this interview is over. It's clever, but Martinez has a counterplan. Instead of confronting him, he'll pivot the conversation to his relationship with Crystal, making it feel like safer ground to get Daniel comfortable and talking. But if Daniel had any motive to take Crystal out of the picture, this is where it would surface.
Well, I'm sure, especially you guys are trying to work together to be safe, keep your family safe, keep your, as dysfunctional as it is, you still both have the common goal of keeping it safe, right?
I had her as a partner to protect the family, but it didn't feel like a partner who valued me. And I told her at that point, I told her I didn't want to die for someone who didn't care about me anymore.
That's really hard.
I was hurting when I said that. And what I wanted was her to say she cared about me. She didn't.
Although Daniel is being honest about what was going on in their marriage, to detectives, moments like this only add to their suspicions. Resentment, rejection, a failing marriage, these are all things that, in the wrong circumstances, can turn into a motive. And this is exactly where the interview takes a sharp turn. What Daniel doesn't know yet is that since his last interview, detectives received something they kept secret for this exact moment. One of the tech companies finally responded to their urgent warrants and provided some of the digital data they needed. And as it turns out, the emails the stalker had been sending, the messages that terrorized Crystal for weeks, were coming from somewhere much closer to home.
One of the things that we really started looking into today in effort to find Anthony is the Gmail. So some of that information that we've been able to receive today is a little bit concerning, I guess.
The Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo of you in it, and the phone number Those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
But both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that list back to your office.
There are Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility.
Right now, we're working with the director to get all of the IP information to see what devices were using that specific address during that time. Because I guess the biggest concern is just the timing of everything, that it just doesn't quite make sense to have somebody create an account, take a photo, and then immediately send it off, and then the account is no longer being used.
None of this makes any sense.
Daniel looks thrown off, unsure where Martinez is going with this. The emails tied to the stalker connect back to Daniel's workplace, a detail he clearly didn't expect detectives to know. He seems nervous, but still cooperative. So detectives decide it's time to push further, because they have something else they withheld from Daniel until now. During the investigation into Anthony's alibi, officers in Utah forwarded something small but important. A time-stamped shopping receipt placing Anthony in Utah that morning, miles away from Colorado at the time Crystal was killed. Martinez and his partner decide it's the perfect time to see how Daniel reacts when they push him directly and force him to confront the possibility that he might be the stalker.
Also, let's add on top of that the fact that there's, as far as we know right now, there's no physical way that Kickman could have been involved in this based on where he's at right now. So, you know, the mystery continues, and
I'd ask the husband.
Things are certainly pointing in one direction right now.
well, and you've given us reason. Here's the other thing, Daniel, is I sympathize with the fact that you're in an extremely frustrating situation. I know you want to be a part of your kids' lives.
This new year, it's time to finally learn the drawing skills and techniques you've always wanted to master for just $1.
But you can also sense that's why we're asking all these questions about infidelity and everything else. Is there some other mystery man that we don't know about?
I have been faithful. Period.
You know Anthony has reached out to her in the past, number of times.
She's very open.
Right. The last time was 2016-ish. He had asked her at one point if she wanted to have sex. If there's any bit of question about infidelity, whether it's with Anthony or anybody else, we might create an account to see if Christine's actually interested in Anthony. So we ask her, push the bounds a little bit, and see if that will confirm our suspicions of infidelity.
So basically what the police were telling him be like, hey man, we know what's going on. Your wife wasn't cheating on you. You thought your wife was cheating on you. She wasn't cheating on you. And that's when he realized he killed her for nothing, bruh. And realized that he really killed her out of jealousy. Like, because he couldn't even trust her, like.
Fidelity. You don't get the response and the openness you once did for about 28 days, from October 2nd to October 31st. So you amp it up a little bit. Send a photo of yourself to her and an account you created.
Yeah.
I get the narrative you're putting together.
Oh, Miss Teresa type
but
shit.
it alleges that I would do this to my children.
But I think ultimately what happened today would bring you the closest to your children that you've probably ever been in your mind.
I'm very close to my children.
You're afraid to lose time with them.
No, you ain't.
If you get the divorce.
Clearly, detectives managed to perfectly articulate Daniel's reality, one he may not have even fully admitted to himself. He is a man so terrified of losing his children, so desperate to stay in control of his family, that he would do anything if he felt it slipping away, even if it meant murder. The detective's brutal honesty leaves Daniel speechless. He doesn't argue or deny it. He just sits there in quiet resignation, wearing the look of someone who's realizing everyone can see straight through his lies.
All because of the email. Check this out. This is perfect. All because of the emails, bro.
If you were watching these facts unfold in front of you in a movie, what would you say happened?
There has to be someone else.
That was able to turn off the cameras, that was able to use your IP address from your work to create accounts, to send messages and photos, to act as a stalking site.
An IP account that traced back to his job. He was creating accounts on the computer on his job, and that's how they found out who was the stalking suspect. So you mean to tell me when Harvey talking about they giving me some emails and you can't trace the IP account to see where they come from, but they saw, and the FBI ain't even on this case. They're just regular detectives, bro.
Suspect.
I don't know, I'm not the one who does this. I'm analytical at work, and I read and write fiction at home. I don't do crime drama. I don't know what any of this is.
But he loved to write horror and drama killing novelties. Just like the sister Savannah. Guess what she liked to write? Sacrifice books and all this old stuff. Yeah.
Kickman is 6.5 hour drive. And then in fact he was contacted in his house severely intoxicated. There's no way he could have made that drive.
All this time that we've been looking for him for the protection order. And you just found him today, like that.
We've been chasing the wrong dog.
It sounds like you're accused.
We have a lot of information that points your direction, and we were hoping that you could provide explanation other than it wasn't me.
I don't have a narrative or a story that I can offer you because I thought we were on the same side.
What would you think, or what would you say if we told you that other people you talk to that are close to your wife expressed that she had maybe told them that she suspected you of having...
She said that right to my face, that she wanted to know if it was me. I told her no.
But I think there's more to the story. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not adding up. I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know
me too.
What caused you to get so upset to hurt your wife, because I believe that's what happened.
Well, I want to know what happened to her.
We haven't been there to know, and there's only one person in this room that can tell us.
I think you got confirmation or found out that she had a boyfriend this morning, or something happened that pissed you off, and you did something that you regret now because you can't go back.
I've answered all of your questions that I can. You have your theory. Please find the right one.
You have all your theories. Find the right one. Hold up.
As calm as he's been this entire interview, Daniel finally decides he's had enough and drops the act. His story has crumbled. Detectives see straight through his lies, and he knows it. With nothing left to cling to, Daniel quietly asks for an attorney, and the interview comes to an end. His top priority.
All right, here we go, gang.
Every available officer is working on it, and this is when the investigation finally begins to break wide open.
Here we go.
Officers in Utah finally finish verifying Anthony's alibi. They find surveillance footage showing him in Utah at the time of Crystal's murder, and there are no travel records or license plate pings placing him anywhere near Colorado. Then, the last of the digital evidence arrives, and this time, it's overwhelming. The burner phones used to send the threatening messages to Crystal were purchased.
Burner phone? Ain't that what Nancy Grace was talking about, the burner phone? Ooh. Burner phones fake emails. Look.
Just with a Visa gift card registered under Daniel Krug's name. And cell tower records show those burner phones were always in the same location as Daniel's personal phone, meaning he was carrying both devices at the
Just like what she said. Hey, if they find a burner phone in that area, any burner phones in that area, they finna go find out who was in access of those burner phones at a time being committed. Just like goddamn it, what you call said, look. This just messed me up because this how they be solving cases. Where is that? Right here.
All right, here with more analysis is
that put them up on the top of that roof, and they are now scouring the foothills in the area. The homeowner association.
okay. They went back to the house. Law enforcement did go to one of. At some point, there has to be some camera, someplace picking up license plates.
The stream to the river, from the river to the ocean, there's an outlet. Just as you're saying, there's an outlet, even though there may not be cameras that are helping us in that neighborhood, there's got to be a stop sign or a red light. And another thing about this quick trip, where they got the surveillance, same thing happened in Brian Kohberger. Same thing happened in Alex Murdaugh. You follow the road. You follow it to its natural end, its turning point, its dead end. You have to go one way or the other. And this quick trip is also telling me the direction the perp went. See what I mean? You get to the red light, that way or that way, he's going that way. Okay, what is that way? Where is that leading me? It's slim, true. Area, and they are all over it tonight. Elsewhere, remote are analyzing it. Remember, there's only 3 really big servers, and that would be AT&T, T-Mobile, working with people locally. The locals are trying to download what they can from the towers, and those elsewhere, remote are analyzing it. Remember, there's only 3 really big servers, and that would be AT&T, T-Mobile, and VCW. All the other mom and pops use those lines. They are now identifying cars in that area that were there between that time, that critical time frame between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. And they're finding cars that went in and out, not like an Uber driver, but stayed for a certain period of time and left. And remember, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's driving around at that time of the morning on an early Sunday morning? I have great faith. Now, here's the problem with that, Sean. Burner phones.
At the same time. And cell tower records show those burner phones were always in the same location as Daniel's personal phone, meaning he was carrying both devices at the same time.
See that? This crazy, bruh. This crazy. Look, burner phones. Guess what she said about the burner phone?
Because when you prepay, you can put, hey, my name is Bugs Bunny. You don't have to put your name or your real address, your real phone number, none of that. Because if it's a burner phone turning up in that area, they then have to find out where was it purchased, try to get video, the works. Then they'll have to see who did Bugs Bunny call? Is he calling his girlfriend? Is he calling his dope dealer? It's very hard.
So guess what?
And then comes the final blow. Detectives uncovered Daniel's Google searches from the night before the murder. How hard would you have to hit someone in the head to make them unconscious? When is a head injury a cause for concern? Piece by piece, the picture comes together. There's no Anthony, there's no mysterious stalker. It's always been just Daniel. Detectives now understand exactly what happened. Daniel created the entire stalking persona in a twisted attempt to regain control of his failing marriage. And when Crystal began to suspect the truth, Daniel killed her to cover it up. On December 16th, an arrest warrant is issued for Daniel Krug. Officers are dispatched immediately, finding him on his way to his daughter's dance performance. As patrol units close in, Daniel's movements strike them as suspicious. He appears to be heading back towards his car, and officers believe he may be trying to get away.
Get this. This is a detective. Get him out. Go on the island. Just get right. All right, we're coming up in front. Just get up and bump the back. No, fuck. Go, 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 go. Just go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Show us your hands! Show us your hands! Hands on your face! Hands on your face! Hands on your face! Hands on your face! Under arrest.
Daniel Krug is taken into custody without incident. In the weeks that follow, police finish their work. The digital forensic evidence, the surveillance timeline, the phone data, all of it leads back to the same person. Investigators become certain that Daniel Krug acted alone. He created a fake stalker, framed an ex-boyfriend, manipulated his wife, his children, and law enforcement. Before the case reaches trial, Daniel formally pleads not guilty. In April of 2025, his case moves into the courtroom. The story prosecutors present is devastatingly clear.
This was about Dan losing control. He was not in love with Christelle, and that resentment had turned to rage by the time we get to December 14th. Think about what he did to her. You don't do that to somebody you love. Think about the absolute nightmare and hell that he made the last few months of her life.
On the other hand, Daniel's defense argues that there was no physical evidence placing him at the crime scene and that he could not have been the killer.
We know the physical evidence. And there is an enormous disconnect between that and the circumstantial picture the prosecution wants you to believe. Mr. Krug did not kill his wife. He did not commit these crimes.
After both sides make their case, the jury deliberates for nearly 2 days. And on April 17th, 2025,
damn, man, what a part that where they talked about the email.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
In the meantime, detectives back in Colorado regroup to reassess the investigation. With Anthony still denying involvement, detective...
But forget about it, though. To make a long story short, y'all can go back to that. He got busted because when he made those Google accounts, they said you go to a library. In a public library, create a Google account. It come back with a digital fingerprint, right? So they're gonna pull up their surveillance footage. They said you can have a cell phone. That cell phone was purchased by somebody, pay cash or whatever, right? Yeah, look, the wife solved her own murder. Cause when she was doing, look, he even tricked the wife, and the wife was doing research. That's how scared she got, because this shit was going on for months. She was going back to the police. Every time he sent a text to her, she'll go to the police. Boom, boom, boom. Then she hired a private investigator. And the private investigator, boom, boom, boom. And she told the police, like, man, I don't know. I think it's my husband type. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, when it comes to her, when she say burner phones,
or when you got a burner phone, but I know that CAST Cellular Analysis Survey Team is about 3 inches up that tailpipe tonight.
So that means if it's a murder happening over here where I'm at right now, right? And you mean to tell me the feds got the capability be like, I want to know, ping that tower to see who had burner phones in this area at this particular time. And then next thing you know, they tracing the burner phone. Just as you can leave your phone at the house, then you at the house, then the SWAT show up like, damn. Don't know how they found you, because you got a burner phone. They traced the burner phone. So when it comes to where he at, is it? No, it ain't this one. Ain't that one. This one. Gotta be that one. So what he mean? He got the email. Then he get another email.
So I finally got my hands on the brown, buckleless belt loops. And no more
information about who the kidnapper is. And
Another
they are
paper.
demanding money. They want 1 Bitcoin, which is around $55,000, $56,000, depending on the hour. They are saying at the end, time is more than relevant. So they have a Bitcoin address which we have verified is real, and that they
even verified the count. So you mean to tell me y'all don't think this shit scripted and staged now? And it's bigger than what you really think it is? Look, this how powerful these folks is, bruh. So you mean to tell me nobody don't want to get on these people and say, all right, since you said you got the email, the FBI could go get the IP address and they could just solve everything. They could just solve. That's finna tell the world everything you need to know. Right there, simple as that. Sound like everybody playing dumb.
want 1 Bitcoin deposited, so in return for giving information about the identity of the kidnapper. Now, again, this is not somebody who says they've kidnapped Nancy. It's somebody who says they know who has. We have no idea if this is authentic. We have forwarded it on to the FBI, and they are looking at it. And we got this early Wednesday morning. Beyond that, we have already told you that there has now been activity in this Bitcoin account that was included in the first ransom note that we received. We are not saying what kind of activity, how much money. I know there is another story out there about that. We are not going to comment on that. We gave our word to people and involved in this case. We are going to honor that, but only to say that there is activity, and that means something. A couple of other points.
When he said there was activity now on the Bitcoin, the $6 million was paid. He said the $6 million was paid. Why the body didn't show up? Hello? Is this a murder for hire hit? That's how you got to pay in Bitcoin. Boom, boom, boom. Then we'll send a fake ransom line out there, you'll pay it. Makes sense. Make a lot of sense to me. So when you had the news later, talking about, yeah, this is what we do. People do this because they don't want to get their hand dirty. How much you would charge me? $6 million. All right, give it to me in Bitcoin. I give it to you. First, we got to go to you first. All right, get on out there. We're going to send you the email right quick, but we're going to read you the script, though. Check it out.
There has been a lot of talk on social media about who may be behind this kidnapping. And I'm just going to kind of put this on the table, that there have been people pointing to various people in the family. And, you know, when we do this, when we talk, you know, on television.
What you mean when you do this? He slipped up. Damn. I just need to make everybody that slip up made a video on they slip up. Them motherfuckers gonna sound like this here. Murder for hire, this what we do. And this what we do. You know what I'm saying?
On our website, on our, you know, digitally, on our social media. I think we should be addressing people on social media and not just people who are watching traditional media, because social media is where a lot of people get their information. And I know this is swirling on.
And that's why they got a problem with that, cause hey, y'all ain't just really got control over social media. Now you got the main outlet, but on social media, everybody get to talk. People that talk on your platform is chosen people. You don't have a platform that you can let your public people talk, because that's the worst thing. You don't want nobody to talk and ask those real questions. You got to control the narrative. So guess what they had to do? I got an email. Guess what the email supposed to symbolize? We got the truth. What? So everybody else that talking about it? No, this a fraud. We got the truth. Focus on us. That's like taking back control. You see what I'm saying? They don't want no TikToker, no YouTuber, or no Instagrammer expose none of this stuff what they do. Yeah. All of a sudden you get an email and they talking to you about the ransom money. And the family said, these people never contacted me. But they contacted them relaying the message back to the mother. What type of shit that is, bro? Why they do that at? This let you know this gonna be a big ass publicity stunt like that. It makes sense why they want to the killers again, sending another letter, and this person want 1 Bitcoin.
Social media. So I just want to say this, that we do not have any information, that would implicate family members. I am not saying that it's true that somebody may be involved or not true, but I am telling you that we have spoken with numerous people. We are not hearing anything about that. I know there are lots of stories out there that so-and-so is being looked at or whatever. I am telling you, we've gone down that path. We've asked questions. We have absolutely no basis to say that is true in any way, shape, or form.
Shit. All because you said it like, oh yeah, we don't believe that now since you said it, since you got the note. Since you got the goddamn ransom letter then, goddamn. And they communicating with you, I want to know where you was at that time. Let's ask those questions, goddamn it. Where he was at. But when I say, man, when they all birds and flock together, that's what they do.
So, in terms of leads, to me, there are 3 leads right now.
What's the
One
3?
is, given the videos, we know that this is somebody who is somewhat stocky. It is a male. It's somebody who has a mustache. and either a goatee or a
Yeah, some stage video, somebody grabbing some, a stage ad video. This don't look like no, this shit looks, look how, look. Really? We need some video footage. That ain't no professional. Looking all in the camera, covering it up. And every time when they got, you know how it stage when every time when cases like this happen, the killer always wear a backpack. And assassinations and all this shit, dropping backpacks. All right. It's a pattern. Everything got a similarity to it. Now look at this. Covering it up with, really? To cover it up with it, some. All right. Then she on this junk taking up for Selena Gomez, keeping up another narrative line. Look where she end up at. You got two high figure profiles. She got a narrative about a kidney. Now she got a narrative about her mama missing. It's going viral. Remember Al Roken? I remember his career. Man, only time when I watch this shit when I go to work, goddamn it, waiting to clock in and be in the break room, listen to these folks. Ain't thinking nothing of. This man was sick, had surgeries and all this shit, and then I remember the man was big as hell. Then the shit that I know now, I'm like, damn, all right, Rogan's career began when he was hired, Cleveland. NBC owner and operates a station, right? Talking about veteran Dr. Frank Fields here. Once you go all the way down, right, to her. Know they always in the theater. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Kanika supposed to been going to the movie, and then Miss Teresa Park at the theaters, and then you got the play What I Wrote. They all do this shit. They write plays and the novels and reenact that shit. And then look, they announced on September that he would make his Broadway dispute portraying Joe in a musical Waitress. What? For a 6-week run in October the 5th to 11th, and later he returned to the show for a limit run. I know he ain't trying to. He the author. Know they're gonna be in the Hollywoods. Morning show mystery, movie mystery channels. Hallmark movie. Yeah, you know what? I know Hallmark channels and movies. They sound like Lifetime. Yeah, they something like the Lifetime movie. And everybody know Lifetime be based off real events and shit too, bro. Personal life. All right, watch this. Erica shit. He was living in Cleveland 7 years, and all that. He is interracial married, meaning that, they not outside the race, right? It's like him. They not outside the race. Check this out. If you look at where these people come from, just like we know who he is. Man, she could be a family come from kings and shit. Look, once you look at all this personal life, right? Oh, this. Every college they got frat in them, they a part of it. Handshake, white dove, you got the book, 5-point stars, and all the symbolism. No wonder. Health. Man had knee surgery. The man had goddamn stomach surgery. Man even had surgery in his goddamn hands. And he had a hip replacement. And look how big he was at the time. If you're a part of that sorority and you've been going to the good schools and with the good degrees and all of this old shit, man, these people will cure anything you got. Man, we'll fix you up. They're gonna fix their people up, bruh. Boom. Right? It makes you think what all type of surgery that he done got. I remember when he had got sick and shit. And they was, from what I know, I remember when he got sick and shit, and they was like he had to have surgery, some type of surgery to save his life. And now they say he was a cancer beater, for what I'm thinking. Then look, when it come to Freemasonry, they do their charity. Hey man, he become a official supporter of Ronald Donald House, right? Cause look at it like this here. One thing I know, he fucked up somewhere, but his punishment in resolving sacrifice, he just had to, we dip in your pocket, donate to the charity. Like, yeah. And boom, then we oppose it like they doing a good thing. But he really punished and hurt his pockets though. Macy's Thanksgiving parade. Always dealing with the kids. Right? Other parents, Seinfeld, you know what I'm saying? The cigar store Indians, the mongoose. Ooh-wee. They all in their umbrella. Hold up. Especially Disney. Damn, then we were just talking about the car wash. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, you just reached TMZ. Hey, how y'all doing? We doing pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to call Harvey right quick. This Harvey, what's going on? Yeah, this the kidnappers. The kidnappers? Who the kidnappers is? Yeah, we got Nancy down here. Nancy? Lying like a motherfucker. And then you got what they said on Rush Hour. Let me go to Rush Hour right quick. They said they wanted $6 million, right? Rush Hour, Chelsea Clinton.
I was helpless from his case.
Look.
It's irresistible.
Levy Holly, whatever his name is.
You are FBI?
Yeah, this is the FBI.
If you want the girl back alive, listen and do not talk.
Okay, I'm listening. Let me get a pen.
Look.
All right, cool.
The drop will be made tonight, 11 p.m. The amount will be $50 million.
$50 million? And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
Keep him talking. In US currency, nothing bigger than 50.
All right, cool. $50 million, no problem.
I want 20 million in 50.
20 million in 50.
20 million in 20.
20 million in 20s.
And 10 million in 10.
And 10 million in 10s. You want any fives with that?
What is your name?
What's your name, man? You called us. Why you want to know my name?
I just want to be able to tell the...
So they've been dealing with Ransom and all this shit that you can see this shit in Rush Hour. And then you could go to Car wash. These the kidnappers. No, I'm talking about same shit, bruh. Look.
Brenda L. Green. Man, y'all gon' kick back. Back up, back up. I got this shit, man. Hello?
Hello? Hello? Yeah, this is the motherfucking kidnappers and we want the motherfucking money.
How much we talking about?
You read the damn note?
Hey, cut the chit chat and tell them how much we
You read
want.
the note?
Wait, hold on. How much we want?
50 cents, fool.
Hey, we want 50 cents, fool. Wait, hold on. 50 cents? Is that what all this is about? 2 punk-ass motherfucking quarters?
Man, 50,000, dog. Use your fucking brain.
Hello? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait, take me off the motherfucking speakerphone. You're making me nervous. Yeah, we want 50,000 and all fresh, crisp 20s. Dubs.
Hundreds, fool.
I mean hundreds, fool. Cinos.
Stupid motherfuckers. Hey, you know what? Hey, tell them to hold on a second. Tell them to hold on.
Wait, hold on a second. What?
Do your mama got call ID block on the phone?
No, why?
Stupid motherfuckers. Hang up.
I'm gonna call y'all right back.
Scribe makes step-by...
What happened?
They just hung up. Now what we gonna do?
You think they got caller ID at a damn car wash?
I hope not.
I fucked up, huh?
They must have realized they didn't block their caller ID. They probably called back with the block.
There they go.
That's why you got another note. We want one
See,
Bitcoin.
the number's gone now. These
Now
guys
they
are not
want
too
one
smart.
Bitcoin.
I'm gonna call the phone number into one of my partners down at LAPD and get some info on it. What's the number to 911? I'll call it in. 1 Adam 12. 1 Adam 12. 4 Adam 12.
Man, enough with this bullshit. Let me answer the phone. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, it's the kidnappers again. Look, me and Face.
Man, you just said my name. Them niggas is ignorant.
Nigga, who is you? Destiny Child? Nigga, ain't nobody said your motherfucking name.
Damn.
Let me take care of this business, man. Hello?
They got to be the stupidest motherfuckers.
Yeah, look. Sorry about that, man. Anyway, this the kidnappers again, man.
Man, stop saying that shit over the phone. Damn.
I can't say shit, can I? Chill out, man.
It's messed up what happened to Mr. Wash. Buzz it.
And that's how they sound like to me when he talking like this.
Who was somewhat stocky, a male with a mustache and either a goatee or beard, that is something. And there may be something identifying about what that person was wearing. So that's one path. A second path is Bitcoin, and I will just leave it at that. And the third path is, you know, one of the things that authorities do all the time when they get a video like this of somebody who they believe is the kidnapper is they look at what they're wearing and they try and find out where did they buy it. So, you know, you look at the gloves and they seem bizarre, and there are things about the getup that are unusual. And so if the authorities can figure out where these things were purchased, because, you know, you look at that and is it something somebody would just have?
They can find it out. If they just gonna just pull up the IP address, those emails that you got, goddamn it, let's get to the bottom of it. Oh, now you want the pull to be like, let's think about the jacket. Yeah, let's see what kind of jacket he got on. Let's go dig deep dive. They're gonna make you work hard to get to that team. Man, look. You wanna know why I believe they call Harvey and put Harvey in the middle of it? It's just all propaganda, bro. Look. 5 million. These people that he would know. This how the system works and the Illuminati work. Hey, I need you to cut your camera on and say you got that. Yeah, I got you. Cause we got ourselves in some shit. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm finna look. I'm finna direct everybody in another direction. Especially he got the email. Guess who got control over the case? He do. All because they reach out to him. That's the perfect thing. Give it to him. They brothers. They brotherhood. They look out for each other. Man, we lost. Then look, that lady could have died just because. What if when that lady said, Donald Trump, we coming for you? Look at all this shit happening now.
In their house, or is it something they would go out to buy, within a fairly narrow time frame before actually doing it? And a lot of people who do that think, okay, I'll pay cash, and therefore there's going to be no record of me buying it. But
see, he said the same thing. So they paid the ransom all, and they ain't got no record. But y'all verified the Bitcoin. Payment been made to the Bitcoin, but the body never showed up, and somebody got paid. So what they did, if it was a murder hire, they paid him through the Bitcoin. And they telling the world, we can't tell you who owned the Bitcoin account. We can't tell you who owned the fake emails accounts. We can't give you none of this shit. It's a system, bruh. Watch this. This what a lot of people didn't know. Hold up. Prince Henry dead.
According to abcnews.com, Prince Harry is back in UK court for the first day of a case against publisher Associated Newspapers, Limited.
Prince Harry. What was that Prince died? Prince Harry commit suicide.
Recent reports indicate that Prince Harry has been actively involved in legal proceedings against the publisher of the Daily Mail, where he has expressed his distress over media intrusion into his life and the impact it has had on his family, particularly his wife, Meghan Markle. During his court appearances, he has shown emotional vulnerability, discussing the toll that media scrutiny has taken on their lives. As of now, there are no credible sources or official statements that support the claim of his suicide. It is essential to rely on verified news sources for accurate information regarding public figures, especially concerning sensitive topics like mental health and well-being. If you have concerns about Prince Harry,
No, what's his brother name? Prince Harry. What's the other one name? Hold up. It's not Prince Harry. It's Prince. What's his other brother name, y'all? He committed suicide. Hold on. Prince Andrew commit suicide.
recent media coverage describes Prince Andrew as being in a dark and fragile state after being stripped of his royal titles and asked to leave his Royal Lodge residence, now living as a private citizen on the Sandringham estate. Sources close to the royal household have expressed concern over his isolation, humiliation, and withdrawal from public life, noting that he has reportedly said he feels he has nothing left to live for. These reports highlight emotional distress but do not constitute verified evidence of suicidal behavior. Prince Andrew has made public appearances since these events, including leaving Royal Lodge with his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson and driving in Windsor, appearing solemn but physically well.
Hold on, no. Oh. Not Prince Andrew, not Prince. What's the other brother name? What royal prince Isabella? Hold on now. What prince committed suicide in Elizabeth family?
According to Wikipedia.org, the Mayerling incident is the series of events surrounding the apparent murder-suicide pact of Rudolph, Crown Prince of Austria, and his mistress, Baroness Mary Vetzera. They were found dead on January 30th, 1880.
That ain't what I'm now, bruh. That ain't the one though. Prince Harry, Prince Charles. Hold on. Prince Charles committed suicide.
We searched for news reports and found no evidence that the king died. Screenshot of false claim that Prince Charles III has died in recent days. King Charles has made several public appearances, including hosting a reception November 7th for 2024 British Olympic and Paralympic medalists.
Hell no, bruh. I read the article. I know what I'm talking about, bruh. I swear to God, bruh. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Prince William. Hold on. Prince William commit suicide.
According to BBC.com, the Prince of Wales was visibly moved as he heard firsthand about the devastating impact of suicide, having to pause during a conversation with Rhian Mannings.
Cause he committed suicide and the people found him. Prince William spoke about this. What I 1 year ago, son died after suffering a seizure, and the husband died by suicide. I knew I wasn't tripping, bruh. I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew I wasn't tripping, bruh. I got it right here. I knew I wasn't tripping, bruh. There it go right there. In the Daily Mail. I remember it when it happened because I was like, damn, nobody ain't talking about Prince William spoke. Because the son died, right? All right, I know about this story. Paul, the husband, died by suicide. Once, it was, bro. It's the Prince, though. Prince William fought back and tried to discuss the impact of the suicide with a woman whose husband took his life. It was one of the royal family. I know it's one of the royal families, bro. It's the royal family, bro, because it happened on royal. Man, these folk crazy than a motherfucker. There you go, right here. It was in the royal family. Matter of fact, that's why he was talking about the impact of the suicide with the will, though. Man, that's why, man, I gotta be careful on this stuff, bro. Cause if you look at Prince Harry's wife, that ain't the same lady, bro. That they saying that's the queen. I mean, So look, all this shit is staged. All of this shit is staged, bro. These people gonna come up with a narrative and throw everybody off because look what's going on. The White House posted information on social media account urging the public to report anything revealing information following an interview with CNN. Come on, bro. This is all they people. These same people is in the Epstein files. All of these people they in the Epstein file, TMZ in the SB file, the person they created, the Bitcoin in the file, he down there in the Epstein file, all of them. Hey y'all. Man, look. Man, Trey ain't finna get on up out this junk. I told y'all, bro, when they come to these people, bro, they got control of the narrative. People forever gonna be like, she was abducted. Man, that lady was sacrificed, set up, and they paid a murder for hire, and through Bitcoin, you don't have the body, but somebody got paid, and next thing you know, I won't even be surprised they give you fake suspects and a fake trial and everything that will go along with the shit. And I'm out, gang.